Welcome, everybody. This is Freshly Squeezed Nerd, episode 5. Here with me, my name is Josh. I got Will and Ken with me today. How's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Fantabulous.
It's been about a couple weeks since our last episode, but right now we got 4 episodes on iTunes and YouTube. So be sure to listen to that while you're keeping up to date with all the stuff we are throwing on there.
We're on the Google now.
We're on the Google. Yeah, so if you actually Google Freshly Squeezed Nerd, you'll see all of our YouTube episodes following by like our iTunes account and our Facebook account. So we're bona fide.
So go Google us. We would love to be Googled by you.
We're the bona fide, legit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she
Big
said.
time.
Certified. Okay.
We did it.
Yay. So, this has been a couple weeks. Want to kind of see what y'all been doing recently and what's been going on in your nerd activities. So I'll start with Ken.
Hey, yeah. Work's been crazy, so it's hard to have been doing anything lately. But I actually, as we were recording this before we came over to do this, I just finished Watch Dogs.
How many dogs are actually in Watch Dogs?
And how many of them do you wash?
Actually, what's funny about that, there is no dogs from what I've saw. And I don't think that they reference any kind of dog per se.
Why are they calling it Watch Dogs?
I have no idea. Overall, the game was fun. What I really like is, like the very final mission, how like every game that you play, the game has been awesome and immaculate, and you get to that final boss or that final mission, and it's just kind of like a letdown. I think, Josh, you mentioned that the last episode was Splinter Cell Blacklist.
Yeah.
Where the last boss was just kind of like...
That last level is just like a normal level.
I will say Watch Dogs, good game. Wasn't like my top 10 of going to be, but it was a fun game. I enjoyed it, but the final mission was definitely epic.
It was worth your money, though.
Yeah, I would say it was worth my money. I paid the full, $60 price for it. I definitely felt like I got my money investment in it. But the final mission was uber fun. It's just like if you ever played like Grand Theft Auto or any of those other sandbox engine games where the final mission is just like so much is happening, you're trying to do stuff and you're driving and things are shooting and things are exploding, and it was an epic battle, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I almost thought I was going to be late today because of it, because I had to finish that. And then, of course, you had to roll through the credits before you get like the final achievement.
Right.
So I was waiting for that as well, which it was a 100-pointer. So I was like, yeah, I'll be late for a 100-pointer.
I understand.
But overall, it was a great game. I don't know what I'm going to play next because nothing that I'm really looking forward to is coming out until August. I'm going to pick up the Diablo 3 for Xbox One with all the DLC and the expansion, but you still got the whole month of July, so I don't know if I'm going to go back to playing Dota 2, or I was thinking about checking out League of Legends, since that's pretty popular. Well, it's been popular forever, but they're doing a lot of championship matches right now, so I've kind of been watching that on Twitch.
And I heard they just like revamped the graphics to that game too.
They did.
They did a whole new engine to it. I heard it looks a lot like Dota 2 as far as the graphic quality goes, which I know a lot of people are kind of upset about that because it looks exactly like its competitor. Like it doesn't have that different style of art anymore.
I've seen.
I don't
both.
know. I don't play any of them. That's just what I heard.
I've played both. Dota has more. It feels like an adult feel to it, even with the better graphics. And even though League of Legends has upped their graphics, it still has more of a cartoonish look to it.
Okay.
So I think that's argument is just kind of just people just being, stupid.
Just because they can.
I guess. And I'm sure that's probably going to upset a lot of people when they listen to this. But, I mean, really, I'm looking at both, and I don't think that League of Legends looks anything like Dota 2. They've upped the graphics, but it still kind of feels cartoonish, maybe kiddie-ish even. Mm-hmm. But I do want to point out that the reason why it does look really, really fun like Dota. So I don't want to downplay the skill level or the the difficulty of it of whatsoever. I mean, I'm definitely interested in playing it, but I wouldn't compare the two. But I forget which university. I could probably look it up real quick, but you know how it's big major esports now? It's actually you can actually get scholarships for it now. There's this one university. They're looking to get 3 teams, 1 major, and 2 standby teams, and they'll actually pay for your school to play League of Legends, like full-blown scholarship. And of course, you'll go to all the championships and stuff like that, which if you win the championships, of course, you win money that way as well, too. So it's starting to be huge. It's not like, you know, you're just an everyday game. It's getting pretty serious. I would say it's even more serious than like your Call of Duty stuff now, and even if your StarCraft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's free to play too. I think that's why a lot more people are playing it.
Yeah,
it's all free to play.
Well, most of your the MOBA games, the MOBA games, most of them are free to play, but they do the microtransactions. That's where they earn their money, and of course the championships and stuff. But I've played Dota so much that I've never felt the need to actually have to buy something, and I really enjoy the game, and I don't feel like I have a handicap because I don't buy those microtransactions. At least I don't feel like that way. I don't know if other people do. So
you get really tempted though sometimes. Like you get to a certain point, you're like, man, I really want that really cool weapon or that really.
That could be so much better if I just had that.
Yeah, I'll just do that one time.
Yeah,
I'll just do it once and then like 15 transactions later.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna say that I've never done a microtransaction. I've done it several times, and I'm sure I'll do it in the future. And I've bought DLC, but and have been tempted with the Dota too. But what's funny is why it makes it so tempting because it's on Steam. Steam will do like discounts left and right, and you'll find something that's normally like $5-6, and they'll discount it to like $1 or $2, and it's like I could do $1.
$1, yeah.
I could do
why
$1.
not?
You know,
I'll just do another $1.
But I know as soon as I do that, I'm going to be hooked. So I'm still trying to pace it out.
It's the snowball effect. It's just going to start building and building and building, and you're going to invest like $50 a week into it eventually.
But yeah, that's basically what I play. I beat Watch Dogs. Great. I recommend it to everyone, and just trying to figure out what I'm going to play next until Diablo 3 comes out. So that's mainly it.
Sounds good. All right, Will, how about you?
I've really only played 2 games, like a decent amount to warrant talking about them. I've gone back and started playing Persona 4 Golden on the Vita, because I've been like craving a good just JRPG to play, and that's the best one to come out in the past 4 or 5 years, easy. It's so good, and I've actually started watching the anime that kind of goes along with the game, and it's how cool I am. I'm watching the anime and playing the game at the same time. All the ladies are, oh my.
They're clamoring.
They are. But yeah, the game is fantastic. It's a good hybrid of just like a traditional like dungeon crawler turn-based like RPG, but it also has like the other part of it is almost like a sim kind of thing where you talk to people in like the real world is what it's called, and you build your social links with people, and that makes you stronger in the other world when you go do your battles and stuff. And that's where you get the story is from doing that. And the game is really well written. Voice acting is fantastic. I think even Troy Baker's in the game.
Isn't he like in everything now?
He pretty much is. He's the new like Nolan North, I guess. But he's like it's really like every character is interesting. There's not one character that I get annoyed with, which usually in JRPGs happens pretty often.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Star Ocean's terrible. But yeah, Persona 4, it's almost like worth getting a Vita for, I would say, because you can get used Vitas kind of cheap. And if you like JRPGs, I mean, you have to get a handheld anyway if you want to play anymore. So, been playing that quite a bit. And the other one, I actually started playing Street Fighter 4 again. They had the Ultra update, which I haven't bought yet. I'm still kind of looking at it. I've already put a lot of money into this game with the... Yeah, I bought costumes.
Those microtransactions.
They were on sale, though. They were on sale, like you were saying.
Of course they were.
They were on sale, and I bought them. I didn't buy them when they were full price, so I don't feel as dirty for doing that. But I might wait until Ultra goes on sale, the Ultra upgrade. But started playing online again today, actually, for about 2 hours. And I didn't do as bad as I thought. Like, whenever I'm matched up to someone of my similar skill level, I usually win that one. But every now and then I get like put up against some guy who's like had about 4,000 matches online and has won like 75% of them, and I just get hosed.
You're just
just get destroyed.
All right.
I haven't I've at least hit him once or twice, so I don't get the perfect against me, but I still.
At that point, that's your goal.
Yeah,
like,
it's
all right.
just I want to hit the guy.
That's probably when they went to go get a sandwich real quick.
Yeah, this one guy, that's perfect because there was one match where I was fighting a guy, and the first round he didn't do anything, so I got a perfect against him, and it was a best of 5, and he beats me the next 3, just destroys me. He gave me 1 round, and I still got destroyed. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing, and I finally saw the new X-Men movie, and I will agree with Ken that it's kind of a letdown. I'm sorry, Josh.
Thank you.
It was good, but it didn't really leave me satisfied.
Right, it felt like it was missing something.
Yeah,
Okay.
had the nice reveal at the end after the credits, which was awesome.
So you said it was missing something. What were you looking for?
I was looking for a bit more action.
Mhm.
I guess there wasn't really it had a great opportunity at the end with the final battle and stuff. I guess you could call it, where there was just a lot of teasing. I guess, which is what a lot of people complain about Godzilla was there was just teasing the whole time, but it paid off in the end. But with X-Men, it just kind of fizzles out. I thought. I mean, Wolverine's one of my favorite characters, and he just kind of doesn't do anything in the final battle.
Well, I'm going to say one quick thing. Okay, spoiler for the next maybe minute or two. I didn't like how they introduce technically new mutants in the first X-Men First Class. Banshee, Emma Frost, what was it? Wisp was the name, or
Wasp?
Wasp? I don't think it was Wasp. I was thinking it was Angel or something.
Darwin.
Darwin.
The girl with the wings?
Yeah. Well, they introduced all these characters. Granted, some of them had died, like Darwin had died.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that was kind of expected, but he at least died in the film. Where the new one, Days of Future Past, they just kind of killed all of them.
Yeah.
And it's how are you going to introduce new mutants?
Because they were the ones that were tortured and manipulated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just...
So you saw the pictures when Mystique was going through that file. You saw them, you saw their corpse on that picture.
I wanted to see that though. I wanted to see them using their powers to avoid being captured or whatever.
Yeah, it didn't have to be the whole movie, but maybe a 2-3 minute segment, maybe a 5 minute.
I really
segment.
liked when they fought the new Sentinels or the future Sentinels.
Mm-hmm.
Those fights were really cool because you really saw how foreboding the Sentinels are,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't defeat them
No.
because they adapt too quickly. And it was cool how they gained powers and started using them against them.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool the way they showed that. But then you had a good opportunity when you were fighting the old Sentinels. They didn't really do much with that.
Yeah,
They just flew around and shot their machine guns, and
Yeah, because
that was about it.
Because Magneto took him over and was he put that stadium around the White
Yeah.
House, and he was using the Sentinels as their little guards around. He was pretty much going to set up his own.
the cartoon did it better. When
Yeah.
they fought the Sentinels, those were awesome fights and stuff. But the movie had, I don't know, I was really wanting to see that again, but in live action form.
It felt like they emphasized more, and not to keep just talking about this, but real quick, it just felt like they still emphasized more on the older X-Men than the newer X-Men, and I thought that's what the new X-Men movies were supposed to do. Look at X-Men First Class. I thought it was great, and we didn't see any of the so-and-so new mutants. I mean, you had Magneto, and you had
But there was no Cyclops.
Perseverant Xavier, but that was the original,
yeah.
where, yeah, in this one, it was it was more emphasis on the future and the new and current versus the beginning, so to speak. And I think that's a better story to tell.
I am super excited about the next one, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because, it's got one of my favorite villains. It looks like it's going to be headlining it, so super pumped. Hopefully I won't get let down again.
And they did say in the article that it's supposed to be the new characters because it takes place in the 80s, but it's supposed to use it should use all of the First Class characters and maybe some of the older characters.
Yeah. So I thought it was really cool how they kind of retconned, almost all the other X-Men movies.
They fixed the Brett Ratner kind of debacle with
Yeah.
X-Men 3.
And they even kind of went back and changed the last Wolverine movie too, because they went ahead and took out, I don't know, with spoiler again, with the Stryker thing that happened at the end.
Right.
I mean, does he get his adamantium?
Yeah, does he not?
You know?
Who knows?
So they could have just totally retconned all the X-Men movies pretty much, and even one that came out less than a year ago.
Yeah.
They already kind of X'd it out.
Well, the Wolverine was probably by far the best one, other than the first X-Men First Class.
Yeah.
Those are probably my two favorite.
Yeah, the last Wolverine
X-Men.
movie, especially compared to the Origins movie, was really good.
Oh, yeah.
Really good.
They almost ignore that.
Yeah, that just didn't happen. Yeah, that's about it though, because you guys work's been nuts, so I haven't gotten a chance to do a lot, but that's about it for me.
So for me, all last week I spent in the beautiful Anaheim, California.
Josh is in love with California.
I know, it's like the best thing ever, because we're in Tennessee, where the humidity is awful all the time, and
Just sticks to your skin.
yeah. And so I was in California all week in a suit, and it felt like great. I felt like comfortable like the entire time. Just beautiful weather. But besides that, I actually did get a chance to do some gaming while I was there. Ken let me borrow his 3DS and let me try out the new Fire Emblem, the one on the 3DS.
Awesome.
That's an awesome game.
Really good.
I was really happy about it. I'm chapter 7 now, so I put some time into it. I love they have the cutscenes now in the story. You actually get to see kind of like some anime cutscenes in action. Lots of introduction to new characters, kind of your same class styles before. I mean, actually, you're your own character now, that tactician kind of thing, and I like that. I really enjoy the game. I do like how you get the option to, if you have a character that dies, that they can come back for like the next mission.
Yeah.
Then they're like a permanent death.
I turned permadeath off.
Yeah.
Like the last Fire Emblem games I've played, I would always save before battle, and then if they died, I would just reload that battle.
Yeah.
So of course I wouldn't just turn permadeath off.
Yeah.
I mean that makes just sense to me. What doesn't make sense is when people don't turn permadeath off and they just still reload.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah.
Because it adds a whole new layer of intensity to the battle.
But if you're starting it over,
But you're still starting it over.
you're just wasting time at this point.
You dummy.
And the minute I turned it off, there was one battle where I had 3 people that just died, just bam, 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 and just because the strategy in the game is pretty tough sometimes.
Yeah.
They'll get you, and especially those when you're the Pegasus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got the first Pegasus upgrade. I was like, this is gonna be awesome, and then you're super squishy.
Yeah, one arrow.
Yeah.
And you're just dead. I don't know.
I ain't gonna lie, I let you borrow that game. I've yet to play it though.
It's really good.
But I knew about where you could turn the permanent death off and stuff like that. So
It's good stuff.
Yeah, that one's
Same guys who made the Advance Wars series
Yeah.
too, and I like the Advance Wars series. I
we
wouldn't
need to
mind.
do another one of those.
I wouldn't mind seeing one of those too.
Well, with Fire Emblem doing really well, I'm sure maybe you'll see another return to a resurgence of Advanced Wars, maybe.
Yeah,
Because
I mean they just
it's that same similar style of strategic gameplay. So
that same studio could go just back and forth.
yeah,
Just do Fire Emblem, then Advance Wars, and keep on going.
it did really well for Nintendo. So they'd be dumb not to at least do another Fire Emblem.
Well, we all know how Nintendo sometimes doesn't repeat success as quickly as they should. So that's part of one of their flaws. So.
We'll probably talk about that here in a little bit too.
Yep, and actually segues into the next topic. We're going to be talking about all E3, the next portion of the podcast. We're going to go over Microsoft, Sony's, Nintendo's press conference. We're going to hit on some of the third-party games that were talked about or announced there as well. Reminder, look us up on YouTube, iTunes, follow us on Twitter, and look us up on Facebook and like us. You can we post different things on there all the time, so we kind of keep you up in the gaming industry. And we will be right back. Thank you so much.
woo!
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
This is
Welcome back.
That's terrible. We didn't time that out at all. So thank you.
Welcome back.
We had a welcome back.
Welcome back.
All right, we done? Get out of the system. You got your refills.
Welcome back.
Why don't you
Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, we're good.
take a sip of that? So this
That's what
next
she said.
segment, we are talking about all E3. Happened a couple weeks ago, so we wanted to kind of just do a quick recap, just see what we're looking at. What are you laughing at?
I was gonna do something real quick. Hold on. Wait.
No. This is terrible.
We have important information to give to the masses. They want to hear.
I'm totally gonna derail this whole thing. if this app was going any slower. Never mind, keep talking.
No, I don't. You're gonna just interrupt me.
Welcome back.
So we've gone 59 seconds into
Welcome back.
Our welcome segment. So E3. So we got our big three: Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and then we got our third-party things as well. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to hit on the. You're going to do it. Just go and do it.
Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. That's all I got.
Oh god, that's terrible.
I might edit that out.
All right.
Oh shit.
So we're gonna start with Microsoft. So here are the big things I saw out of the Microsoft conference. I'm just gonna like touch on them real quick, and if y'all have some more things to add to it, feel free. Or if there's something else I'm missing, feel free to chime in. So the first thing I have on here for Microsoft is the Master Chief Collection.
Super pumped about that.
Yes.
Can't wait. And we talked about like the remakes and stuff. This is a good example of it done right.
Exactly, because we were talking about like it's gonna have all the DLC.
Over 100 multiplayer maps.
Oh
crazy.
my god,
That's insane. And it's got Halo 2 like all shiny now, which that's my favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
And get to do those maps again. Just do the Halo 2 multiplayer. That's all I want to do is that. Super excited about it.
I agree. I am super excited about that too.
Because when you play Halo 1 and Halo 2 multiplayer maps, you'll actually be playing them in those graphics from Halo 1 and Halo 2.
Oh, that's going to be just in the original style graphics?
Mhm.
I'm fine with that. That's
Well, I
fine
think they're
with me.
making them like crisper.
Oh, yeah. They'll
Probably
Yeah.
up-res them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Up-res them. That's
Yeah.
fine with me because, I mean, that's when I was really big into Halo was in 1 and 2. So
Mhm.
I remember those years fondly.
And it's even got 4. I think the only one it doesn't have is Reach, which I'm okay
There's
with.
no ODST.
Or
either.
ODST, yeah.
But
But
you have the maps that they added
Because
with
you don't
ODST.
play as Master Chief in those.
correct.
true.
So that's
Correct,
why.
yeah.
That's the Master Chief.
That's why they call it the Master Chef Collection.
I know. After that, they announced Rise of the Tomb Raider. So we all loved Tomb Raider for a couple years ago. This is
Yeah,
the new one.
I
for
really enjoyed that game last year. That was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I agree. And what's cool about this is they actually talked about how where the first Tomb Raider, the remake or reboot Tomb Raider didn't really have a lot of tomb raiding, so to speak, and how this one they specifically said that they've listened to the fans
And she's going to be raiding tombs.
and she's going to be raiding tombs.
All night long.
So I thought that was kind of cool.
She's
You
a
know,
dirty girl. She's like crazy in this one, isn't she? She's like in like a mental hospital or something.
no, she's seeking a psychiatrist.
Oh, okay.
But she's not in a mental hospital. But this is supposed to be her where she switches, the day and night switch to the actual Lara Croft
That we
Tomb
know.
Raider that we all know.
And she grows as the person into what we know her as now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Coming of age story, I
Yeah.
guess.
Which I thought that's what they did in the first one, but apparently...
I mean, after going through all that stuff, like when you're like this, rich, person, and you go through all that stuff in the first one,
You're
you'd
gonna
probably be a
messed
little
up.
messed up too.
Yeah, you're going to be messed up. So then...
She didn't fight giant scorpions or anything. She should be fine.
Wimpieitis needs to...
She needs to just suck it up.
Yeah.
So the former studio that did the Ratchet and Clank games is now making one called Sunset Overdrive.
Looks really, really fun.
It looks different.
I don't know if I would buy it day one, though.
That looks like a, I don't know. I'm not a fan of cartoonish style graphics, and that's what this one is.
Yeah.
So that's already kind of putting me off a little bit. But I mean, Insomniac. I mean, they're a great developer. I like the Resistance games. The Ratchet and Clank games are fun. They're always really creative with their weapons, and it looks like they're doing the same thing in this one. I mean, it'll do well for Microsoft, I think.
I think it'll be a fun game, but again, like Watch Dogs, I want to see a little bit more. I don't want to just jump on the hype train for it
I'd
just
give him
yet.
$20 for it.
$20.
I don't know about 60. I'll give him 20.
Well, if you watch the trailer, you notice real quick that when the character got really high from like bouncing on stuff, you could see in the background that it didn't really have any landscape. So it just has the cutout part of where you're playing on, and everything else is just kind of gray and then in the distance. I don't know if that was just part of the demo that they showed and they're actually going to fill that up. And
I would hope so.
not that you can go everywhere in a shooter anyways, but have some filler.
Yeah.
You know, like show some mountains, maybe some trees, stuff off in the distance. You know, they'll make me feel like I'm in this imaginary virtual island when it's supposed to be this real world that I'm playing in.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely want to see more.
Yeah.
That's the consensus.
It's exciting though, but
Microsoft did announce a new Crackdown for
that'll be
the
fun.
Xbox One.
I like the. Well, you know, that one's graphics are kind of cartoonish, and I'm just kind of going against what I just said. But I actually enjoyed the first Crackdown. First Crackdown was really fun. I bought it just for the Halo 3 beta.
Yeah,
It turned
me
out the
too.
game was really good,
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed it. Second Crackdown, not so much.
It's fun to jump around and stuff.
Yeah, when you really see that progression whenever you collect a bunch of ores, when you can jump higher and run faster, and you can pick up heavier objects.
I never played them, but I never felt the need or want to play them. And every time people talk to me about it, I'm like, oh, so it's Prototype, right? It's Prototype.
Not really.
No.
I wouldn't say it's like Prototype is like a lot more
Like Infamous.
infamous. Yeah, like Crackdown is just super fast paced and
I mean, it's a third-person shooter.
third person open world shooter, whereas Prototype is like Infamous, like a superhero.
Because you pretty much have a gun in your hand most of the entire time in Crackdown,
Okay.
and you can lift up cars and like do like some melee stuff, but it's primarily like a third-person shooter. But they give you some really ridiculous powers in the game.
You're looking at something to play the next month. I mean, you can buy the first one for like $5.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. I was,
There you go.
not to get too off topic, but I was thinking about maybe picking up a sports game. Me and Josh has been having this conversation,
Okay.
and I'll have it with you later. But
Okay, I'm sure you were.
We can go upstairs after this and we can load up some NCAA football. And I'll school you in it.
well, I'm sure you would. No pun
I
intended.
just do like Hail Marys or options.
Lastly, for the Microsoft part of the conference that I was interested in is The Witcher 3.
Glad you got to that point. I was like checking your notes, like can't
Yeah.
wait to talk about that one. That's like already my most anticipated game for next year. That and Bloodborne, I guess.
Actually, that brings me. I think.
We'll talk about Bloodborne.
We will talk about that.
Oh, I knew it. I figured we would because I'm actually excited about that as well too. But since you brought up Witcher 3, it looks so amazing, and I never played the first two, but it's one of those games that I've always wanted to go back to.
That's what you should get.
The first one is free on Steam right now. It's not the enhanced edition of the first one because they had a enhanced edition for the first one and the second one.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, the first one I can
We'll
play for
still
free.
get the gist of it if you just play the regular version.
Yeah, and I'm actually, now that I think about it, I probably will play that.
That's what you should get. As I've actually been thinking about going back and playing it again and kind of getting all the achievements I missed, like play through it on the hardest difficulty and do the opposite choices this time through to get those. Yeah, the game was great though. It was really good.
Well, the second one, you can pick the enhanced edition up for like $20 right now.
On
Worth
Xbox.
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely worth it.
I bought the special edition where they had like the little like
The
keychain.
guidebook.
They had like the little
Yeah.
keychain, the little wolf keychain. I got that, and for some reason I don't think I finished it, or at least I don't remember finishing it. It's been a while since it came out, but I'm really looking forward to that game. That kind of RPG style, that kind of lore, but it's also very adult at the same time.
It is very adult.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Definitely not a game for the kiddies.
like Game of Thrones
Exactly. Yeah,
you know,
that's a good way to look at it.
video game because they have like a lot of politics into it. Of course, there's like your fair share of
It's like Game of Thrones
Women.
and Lord of the Rings kind of mesh together.
Well, even the strategy guide is pretty softcore kind of stuff going
Yeah.
on in there. I mean, I remember like if you go to buy it, they're like, let's see some ID for a guide.
yeah.
It's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, there's boobies in it.
There's just a couple in couples.
And couples. But yeah, that's definitely my most anticipated game so far next year is Witcher 3.
Other than Bloodborne.
We'll talk about that.
We'll get there. Don't spoil.
It's one of two of my most anticipated games.
So besides those ones I mentioned, any other thing from Microsoft that y'all can think of that you want to touch on?
I really like the fact they started a feedback website. I think at xbox.com/feedback where you can actually go and submit your ideas to them.
You know they're gonna get some really terrible ideas.
They will get. I mean, yeah, because most people are stupid.
Yeah.
But they'll give everyone free Xboxes. Okay, we will.
Yeah.
But I think that's a really cool, just central place to give them your feedback. I mean, they've already shown that they're listening to feedback with offering the system without the Kinect, doing away with the paywall for gold for all the apps and stuff. So they'll definitely seems like they're going to listen to what people want. So I think it's a good central location where people can submit their ideas.
Absolutely.
That's a really cool thing.
The two I want to bring up, one's an indie game, and I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's a Xbox exclusive, Ori and the Blind Forest.
I think that is an exclusive, yeah.
That looks really good.
I didn't get a chance to see it, but I've heard quite a bit about it.
It looks gorgeous. I saw the little bit of trailer that they did for it, a little gameplay, and they pretty much just showed all gameplay. It looks like it's going to be a gorgeous side-scroller game. And, we talked not too long ago about side-scrollers, and I think this would be one that I would definitely pick up right off the bat. Another one is, too, and this is getting like kind of a flag, but I'm still kind of interested to see where they go with it, Fable Legends.
Yeah.
It's a lot more interesting than it was when they first talked about it.
What I see out of it, and I was a huge Fable fan, probably I overlooked some of the flaws of Fable 2 and 3 more so than others because I liked Fable so much. But it looks like just like a top-down, four-person, like Baldur's Gate type of gameplay.
It's more like a third-person MMO kind of setting, right?
Yeah, well, if you're the heroes, so to speak, they have different classes. Like they'll have a tank, a DPS, they have a healer, and that's actually third-person view. Mm-hmm. If you're the villain, it's kind of like Evolve. It makes me think of Evolve, not to compare games, but it's 4 versus 1. Mm-hmm. And that's how Evolve is. Though Evolve looks like it's going to be 100 times better than Fable Legends. The villain, that's the tabletop down looking like Baldur's Gate kind of a feel because you set all the traps, you move all the enemies and things like that. Mm-hmm. Where the heroes are actually fighting them, and it's a third-person view. Okay. Kind of like your traditional Fable.
Yeah. And when you play as one character, like single player, are those other characters just your NPCs?
I absolutely have no idea. Because the way that they showed it at E3 was they actually had 4 people playing
it. Yeah.
So I don't know if it would just be a single player and people can join, or Josh's house is being attacked right now. Holy crap, what was that?
I don't know.
Just keep drinking your beer. Yeah. Your vitamin water.
Vitamin water.
Oh, man.
I mean, it looks good, but again, we need to know more.
Yeah, I want classic Fable. I want that.
Yeah,
I miss
that's
that.
not going to happen. Peter Molyneux's not with the company anymore.
That probably means the better.
You don't need Peter Molyneux. No. That guy's nuts.
He goes on these weird tangents about like how important is it to have a dog in the game, like I don't care.
Yeah, like with his new company, he did like a free-to-play game, but there was a piece of DLC that was like $50,000 that he had in it, and he was like, "It's just a social experiment." You're an idiot.
Someone bought it.
Wasting your time.
Someone bought it.
I would not. Probably Peter Molyneux. See, it worked. Yeah, it sure did.
All right.
Microsoft overall I thought was a pretty solid because they just focused on the games for the most part.
Exactly.
Which was good, which was what they needed to do.
So before I move on to Sony, what grade would you give them? Let's think traditional ABC.
I would give them a B.
A B?
I'd give them a B.
So Will says a B. Okay. Ken?
I'd say B+.
B+.
I don't want to give them an A, even though I traditionally like Microsoft more. Not that I'm biased, but B+.
Mm-hmm. B+. Okay.
What about you, Josh?
That's a good question. I'm glad you asked. So I'm going to say, I think I'm going to just give them a solid B. I mean, they didn't announce anything that was like, oh, wow, this is amazing.
There wasn't anything new.
No, nothing new. So if they gave something new, I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that like I was looking for. Mm-hmm. But if it was just something
like a surprise,
new IP, or maybe like a sequel of something that came out a long time ago.
Like if they would have done like another Banjo-Kazooie game. Yeah. Banjo 3 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Just something new.
Yeah, exactly.
Then they could probably come in that A- range. But I'm going to give them a solid B.
Pretty solid show, though.
Yeah.
A lot better than last year. Let's put it that way.
I mean, last year I thought it was cool with all the new stuff there because they brought back Killer Instinct and all that other stuff, which I was super hyped for. I would still probably say they talked a bit too much about like TV and stuff at their last show, but because they only focused on the games, which is a gaming convention, yeah, you get a good solid score there.
All right, so off to Sony. So right off the gate, one thing Sony highlighted was Destiny with the white PS4 Destiny bundle.
There you go, Sony making all kinds of different SKUs already for their new system.
Yeah. But let's talk about maybe just Destiny itself.
Yeah, Destiny, I've actually been playing. I forgot to mention that I've been playing the alpha for Destiny. I completely forgot.
I'm glad you brought that down.
Just because it's kind of I mean, it's cool.
Well, I heard it takes 5 minutes to beat?
Yeah, you beat the little story thing that it wants you to do, in 5 minutes, and then after that it just fetch quests. That's all it is. Right after that, you have these little beacons that you go to, and it says, go get 5 of these, or go kill 10 of these guys. And it feels a lot like Borderlands, which Borderlands is good. It's fine, but with the Halo gameplay and graphic style. But I mean, I've already played Borderlands. It doesn't seem any different than that so far. But it's just the alpha though.
Yeah.
And I can tell the scope on the game is going to be really huge. And you're kind of just isolated to a little part.
There's a reason they're calling it an alpha.
Exactly. That's why I'm not really judging it, so far. It's an alpha.
Yeah.
So the game already looks really good. It plays really solidly. The controls are really tight. They just need to kind of, I think, put some more meaningful content into the game. Not just a whole, you hear a recording of you to go kill these things.
Well, I think they're trying to downplay it. They want to give you enough to kind of give you a little bit of a taste, but I don't think they want to overhype it so that if it does come out, because, how many times have we had over expectations of a game? And granted, it probably was a great game, but because it didn't live up to our expectations, we've made it into a bad game.
This one's already gone too far in that direction where it's already overhyped. I mean, this game's been built up for over a year now.
Bungie alone.
It's been Bungie's first multi-platform game that's I don't know. And they're talking about a 10-year plan with the game. I think I heard that somewhere.
That's weird.
Yeah, that is really weird. So I don't know. They're trying to. I don't know.
Are sequels included?
Because
hopefully, if it's a good game, you would want some sequels done in there.
They're going to have 5 different season passes for it. Every other year, you have to $25 for the DLC.
So after that, they showed some pretty good stuff. We saw a little more of the magical stuff when it comes to the Order 1886.
That looks pretty good.
It looks good, but I'm still kind of reserved. And not to play the reserve card. It just... They didn't show nothing, and now they're showing stuff, and even then it's still kind of...
It was weird, the guns, as he was shooting that werewolf, but it wasn't doing anything.
Exactly.
He shot it 1 million times, and he got faster and stronger as he was shooting it. Mm-hmm. Just don't shoot it if it's going to get more powerful.
I'd be running.
Yeah.
I'd be running away. I'm not dead time, but I'd run away.
But I like that setting, and I like the
graphics look really cool.
The graphics look good.
It's a horror kind of setting, which
obviously
good.
Something we want to see more of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intrigued by the story.
Yeah.
It's definitely got me intrigued.
Yeah. Next part here is they just announced the infamous Second Son DLC called First Light. It's a standalone DLC, so you actually don't have to have the game in order to play
cool
it.
They're doing that.
Mm-hmm. I was actually thinking about picking that up, especially since they made it a standalone, because I don't currently own Infamous Second Son. Great game, loved it, but I didn't see that, there's no multiplayer. I did everything I could possibly do in it. So
I might do that in The Witcher next, because I still have Infamous that I've played 2 hours of.
I would just easily knock it out.
It's a short game.
Yeah.
Right.
But since they made this a standalone, I probably will pick it up.
Yeah.
If they made it a DLC, there's no way I would have played it.
You get to play as the neon chick, right?
Exactly.
That's who you get to play as.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think if it's like anything like the last DLC for Infamous 2,
Festival of Blood.
Yeah, you can continue to play it after the storyline's over. So if you just get in the mood to play some Infamous, you can just load up the DLC and just fly around and do what you want.
Did they say how much it was going to be?
No, but I don't think they said that it was going to be full price. I think they're making
$20 probably, 15, 20 bucks.
The last one was 15.
15?
Yeah.
But, to be honest, depending on how much content you get, I'd be willing to pay at least $30 even, depending on the content you get.
Exactly.
Yeah. Next part we have here, not too surprised about this one, Little Big Planet 3.
No.
I've never been a fan of them. I mean, it's great for family. I thought it was funny when they were... Sony was one of the couple that I actually got to see the full press conference for, and they had the developers for it come out and play in it, and they were kind of terrible at the game. It was really funny to watch and kind of painful at the same time, but...
You have someone else besides the Sackboy now.
Yeah, you got the flying one and
the odd boy.
The guy who changes size, and then What's the other one?
Worm
The worm thingy?
Worm Boy, or
Boy.
Boy. I don't know. Sure, why not? We'll go with that.
Wing Boy.
I've never been one to like create my own games.
No, that's the
You
thing
know.
I don't like. I mean,
I want my game to be made for me.
Exactly.
I like it, but I don't like it. I like how you can do that stuff, but I like the platform games where I can just go on there and just play the mission, like
Yeah.
a Mario game.
But it's cool on these because you can just download other people's levels. You have them do the work for you.
Yeah.
Some of them are really good. There was like the first Little Big Planet. There was a zombie like level, and you were just like trying to survive as long as you could, like you and whoever you're playing with, like a survival kind of like State of Decay kind of thing, I guess. But it was really cool too because I think they announced that you could play all the other levels people have already made for 1 and 2 with 3.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's a lot.
You
Of,
just had
That's
to
like
kinda-
over 1 million levels, I
That's
think. Like
kinda-
literally, not over exaggerating.
Yeah.
it's a ton.
You have to kind of like
Planets.
filter through all the bad ones, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip this one for just a second. We're going to just really touch real quick on Far Cry 4. They just showed some like gameplay of
Looks
it, kind
good.
of a trailer, kind of that Himalaya setting.
You can ride an elephant.
and you can shoot off the element.
How freaking cool is that? You can ride
it
an
looks really
elephant.
good. Troy Baker's in that game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think half these games we mentioned, he's in it, isn't he?
I think we're gonna. We should
Shows
invite him
up.
on the podcast and then come in and talk about him.
He's too busy. He
Yeah,
can't.
he's making too many games.
Next part here, the Disney Infinity Avengers is a Sony exclusive. So the Avenger characters for that game will only be on Sony.
Because they've got that collector's edition with the Hulk, right? I
Yeah,
think that's
like
their
Hulk
thing they're
and
doing.
Captain America, Iron Man.
I think that's stupid. That's a stupid mistake. Because I have it on Xbox 360. I am not going to buy a whole nother game for another system just so I can get those characters.
Would
It's
the,
stupid.
Does the
Can you
platform
use-
stuff work?
Do I?
Does the platform and stuff work on the other, like cross-platform? Just this
Can you
game?
just use like they do with Skylanders? You can use like the characters.
I'm not for sure. I haven't tried it because I don't. Well,
Yeah.
I don't own.
Well, they may not be compatible with the new game. Be compatible with the old game.
Exactly. I know you
Is that
can
what
use
you're
the-
asking, Josh?
Well, no, like you have like you have like the little pad, right, that you place the characters on?
Yeah.
You can use that pad for the other consoles.
Yeah, but you still have to buy the game, and they don't sell this game standalone just yet. And that was one of the issues with Skylanders. Plus, on top of that, I don't have a PS3. I mean, I could probably play it on my PlayStation
This
or
is-
my PlayStation
It'll be
4.
on PS4.
But I don't know.
I stopped Skylanders pretty much after the first one just because it's a money pit.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
play that one.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun, but it's way too expensive.
But if you get like a 12-year-old kid or a 10-year-old kid, they're like, "Hey, Dad,
2 toys in one.
that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want Hulk.
hmm
I want Captain America, Iron Man."
Thankfully, my kids aren't old enough to be that smart.
Yeah.
They're not like seeing the commercials on TV or like looking them up online and say, "Hey, Dad, I want this."
We'll just wait until like the Star Wars one comes out whenever Episode 7 is done.
Yeah.
Then they'll have a Disney Infinity Star Wars.
Oh, they
You'll be
will.
all over that.
Oh yeah,
You'll buy-
that's a little bit
You'll
different.
be all over that.
I almost donated.
Boba Fett. What the F?
I'd boycott it then. No Boba Fett. It's done.
PlayStation TV, it's been out in Japan for a while, but it's now coming to the US for $99.99.
I think that looks really cool. I'm actually kind of intrigued by
You
it.
can use a DualShock controller, hook up the HDMI. You can have you can load up content from older console generation. You can access like Netflix and all that fun stuff on there.
It looks cool, but I think it's
Obviously, it's in direct competition with Apple TV, but the difference is with the PlayStation TV, you can play games off of it.
And it's got a Vita cartridge slot in it, I think, and you can play most Vita games on it as well.
because I
Which
didn't know about that.
I think I remember reading that correctly, and if that's the case, that's $100 is really good.
So you could have that and you can still play the Vita games without having a Vita? Is that what you're saying?
I think so. Well, it said most Vita games.
Okay.
There's games where you have to use the touchscreen,
Touchpad, actually.
like Uncharted. I know you have to use the touchpad with it, so that would probably be one you couldn't play.
Yeah, but if you think about it, you got the touch controller on the PlayStation 4.
Can you use a DualShock 4, or is it just a DualShock 3?
I don't remember.
'Cause I know they've got a bundle with it for $139.
I know
That comes with a DualShock 3.
but they could always do an update later.
Yeah, because if they do that, then there's that eliminates that pretty much.
All right, so while I'm looking up information about that, wondering what type of controller you can do, why don't y'all
Look up
talk
the Vita
about...
game thing. I'll look up the Vita thing.
Bloodborne.
That's
He was looking up.
yeah.
Now he's done.
PS4 exclusive from software. Go.
So everyone should go start saving for a PS4 now, because this is going to be a reason to buy one. It's from the developer, like the head of the From Software part that developed Demon's Souls and Dark Souls. So if you didn't like Dark Souls 2 because of the changes they made, you'll be happy. And it looks real. It looks even like darker and more like horror driven than the last ones were. And it's the setting looks really cool. There's like guns in it, which are supposed to be used as more like close range weapons, from what I've read, to open them up for like the melee attacks that you'll do. And it's supposed to be a lot more offensive than the other Souls games, because they're like kind of the gameplay is based around like being defensive, blocking with your shield and then attacking, or waiting for an opening and attacking. Whereas this one looks like they're wanting it to be more like faster paced, the combat to move more brisk. Which looks cool, and just the whole setting. It looks like H.P. Lovecraft kind of setting, like the whole Victorian, like there's like all these like demons and monsters roaming around. It looks awesome.
Well, they even said that it's a direct sequel to Demon's Souls.
I don't know if they said sequel. I thought they said successor.
Maybe successor. But still.
Yeah, I mean it's and I've seen like the gameplay leaks of it, and it's gonna play like a Souls game. From what it looks like, even when you kill someone, you still get like that white soul thing kind of go into your body. So you get that counter that'll go up. So it'll play just like it. So
I'm pretty excited.
I'm pumped. Yeah, get a PS4 now, or you're going to be missing out on probably the best gaming experience next year. Just saying.
All right, so I looked up. Y'all done on Bloodborne? Y'all got?
Yeah, I guess.
Y'all had enough
Sure.
of it? Okay. So I looked up some information for the PlayStation TV. You can use a DualShock 4 controller.
Okay,
Ooh.
cool.
And the device is said to be compatible with over 100 Vita games, as well as various digital PlayStation Portable, PlayStation, and PC Engine titles, along with titles streamed from the upcoming PlayStation Now service.
Does that Vita games that you like digitally own, or is that actual carts that you have, like the little like physical copies of the games, or do you have to have just the digital one? Because they never said that. That's what makes me kind of skeptical.
Well, it could be either way, couldn't
You
it?
can. It has a 1 gig internal gigabyte for storage, expandable via PlayStation Vita memory card, so you can add more memory to it. You can plug in PS Vita cards.
Okay.
When it says media, it says PS Vita card, digital distribution. So that tells me you can do both.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Well, then $100 is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For controller input, you can do DualShock 3, 4, or the Vita itself.
There you go.
So yeah, I would get something like that as opposed to like the Amazon TV.
Yeah, or the Apple TV.
Or the even Apple TV.
Yeah, because I mean, if you want a Vita system and you don't really play handhelds, you just like play on your TV, there you go. And
That's your way to do it.
And you can play, like, if you like RPGs, you buy a PS TV and you're good.
Now that you've mentioned that, that might have converted me over.
And it's only $100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for $100. I mean, because especially if I already own a PlayStation 4, so I got the controller. The only thing I would really have to buy is the Vita games.
Yeah, so you can place that like in a different TV, like a different TV place for you, like where your PlayStation 4 is, and you can just pick up your controller and take it to that other room, and boom, you got your PS library there that you can pull up games from.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty awesome.
Last little small thing here. I don't know if it's small. You mentioned that you would love to see this. A Grand Theft Auto 5 next gen.
Woo! Yeah, and it's awesome too because it's only with PlayStation, I think, but you can carry over all your multiplayer progress to the PlayStation 4.
You don't think eventually it'll come out for that first one?
I thought they said it was going to be for all of them.
I thought they said it was exclusively on PlayStation.
Ooh, that's another looker-upper.
But I never played the multiplayer, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
I don't mind playing through that game again. It was really good. So
Yeah. You talk about like the ending, like the games, like ending games. We talk about Watch Dogs. That was really epic.
Uh-huh.
You know, the ending of Grand Theft
was
Auto 5.
awesome.
Yeah, depending on which one you picked, I mean, they had some pretty big consequences to
Yeah.
go along with it.
It was really good. The only thing I didn't like about Grand Theft Auto 5 was like when you worked, when you like were like moving the big shipping things around. But other than that, I mean, I'm all about playing through that game again. It was really good.
What?
Well, this goes back to, as I'm looking this up, what I wanted to hit on is I never played Grand Theft Auto 5 yet. I was wanting to.
Well, now you're gonna.
I know I'm going to. Yeah, I'm actually going to pick it up for, the next gen systems.
And you can actually close the door to where your kids can't hear all the cussing and.
There's no cussing in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Last thing I have for Sony is they showed the trailer for the new and supposedly last Uncharted 4.
It's the Thieves' End, I think, is the little tagline to it.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be the last one because everyone that worked on them left.
Yeah.
Well, they actually got people that did Last of Us that is working on Uncharted 4.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good team. It's still Naughty Dog.
Yeah. I'll play it.
I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm not a huge, because like I said on the last episode with finishing Last of Us, that gameplay, I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah.
I love the story, and of course the game is going to look absolutely fantastic on PS4.
Uncharted does run a little faster than what Last of Us does.
Yeah, and I'm a big Indiana Jones fan, so that's what these games are essentially, is Indiana Jones. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it too.
Yeah, so that looks really good. I talked about it being the last one, so I mean we'll see.
We'll see.
if it sells enough, they won't.
Yeah.
So all right, so we're moving around along, looking at Nintendo.
Real quick, back on the GTA.
Okay.
It says that Sony promised that the GTA Online progression would carry over from PS3 to PS4, but Rockstar never said anything that it wouldn't on the Xbox, or Microsoft never said it wouldn't. PlayStation just went ahead and made that announcement.
They didn't say it's like their exclusive thing.
Yeah, they never said it was their exclusive.
I could have sworn they said only on PlayStation. I don't know.
Though
I was drinking a lot of vitamin water while I was watching it. So
it does say though that it is going to up the graphics for all of them to have next gen graphics for the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. And also they're going to add new stuff too, like new missions, new wildlife, like new other stuff too. So there's going to be not necessarily a whole lot of new content.
So it's just not a straight port. They're actually adding stuff to it.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
Exactly.
So they haven't added any like DLC to it.
They've just had a few little updates here and
online.
there.
Yeah.
And that's what they've been working on, I guess.
All right.
So sorry, go ahead.
You're fine. The last one here, Nintendo.
Who?
Nintendo.
Is it still a company?
It is, surprisingly. Yeah. So a couple things on here. We got the new Ambios. How you say it? Ambi.
Yeah. I'm gonna lie. I didn't watch the Nintendo podcast.
I didn't watch it. I just, like I said, I just looked at the highlights and stuff.
Yeah.
And
essentially, they're like the Skylanders Mario characters.
Like you can get them and put them on the little infrared sensor on the pad, I think, the Wii pad.
Yeah.
And like it'll add stuff into Mario Kart and
Super Smash Brothers. So those characters, you can use those in Smash Brothers kind of thing.
People like to collect Nintendo stuff too, so I think that'll do really well.
Yeah. They announced a new Yoshi's Woolly World. Yeah. WOLLY.
Woolly
World. I don't know. Woolly World. Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way.
It's a new Yoshi game.
All the games that they announced look really, really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, before you get into your whole list, and we'll still go through the list, but I'm going to say all the games that I did see look really, really good. But why are they coming out next year?
They're all next year, other than like Smash Brothers and Pokemon.
Now, granted, like Microsoft and PlayStation, most of their stuff's coming out next year, but they already have an establishment of games that came out this year, and they're still really popular. The Wii U has been out for what, already 2 years now?
It's got a year jump on the other systems.
And
exactly.
So this will be its...
and its timetable is still just as late as the other ones.
Yeah. It's like, I got pumped about a couple of the announcements they were doing, and it was like 2015. Like, come on.
So that gives you like a whole like year.
Yeah.
So
I'm such a big fan of the Wii U now with Mario Kart. Like, I want more to play on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you're going to hit some of these games. Because there's a lot of games, like you said, that I'm excited about, but it's like...
There's actually about, I guess, there's only like 2 Wii U games that I'm kind of excited about this year, that are coming out this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just looking at your
Go
list.
ahead. I just want to throw that out there.
Then they announced a Captain Toad Treasure Tracker game.
No.
Nope.
Legend of Zelda for the Wii U.
That looks
2015 again.
Yeah,
looks amazing.
Looks really good.
But they said it's going to be more open world versus a predestined track.
That's not a bad thing though.
Yeah.
It's like then we talk about Skyrim.
That's almost like Dark Souls, where you can like tackle the dungeons how you want to, pretty much, and progress at your own pace and path.
Yeah.
That's how the original Zelda was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You could pretty much do any dungeon you wanted to. Now, granted, some were harder than others if you didn't have certain stuff, but you could technically go to any dungeon that you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Speaking on the Zelda track, I got the Hyrule Warriors.
I'm not a Dynasty Warriors fan,
Yeah.
so I'm not really.
Maybe for like $10.
Yeah.
I mean, but people, if you like Zelda and you like that, that genre, I mean, you're going to go through and, you're going to play that game just to kind of get more Zelda because they don't come out with a whole lot of Zelda games. Bayonetta 2.
That was one of the ones I'm looking forward to this year.
They remade on the Wii U.
I love the first one.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. And it comes with the original one.
Mm-hmm.
And the new one, I've seen, the gameplay looks sick. It's, awesome.
Did you see it, where they had, Bayonetta was in, different costumes
Yeah, the
from
different Nintendo.
She was in, a Metroid costume.
She had a Link outfit on.
It was pretty funny.
I think the game's going to be really fun. Like I said, I really enjoyed the first one, so.
You keep telling me that, and I've yet to jump the gun on that.
It's another cheap one to pick up. If you like Devil May Cry, I think it's better than Devil May Cry. It's the same style of game.
I haven't played the remake of the Devil May Cry, so
You should play that too. It's really good.
It's really good.
It's better than the trilogy, the first three.
So the other one here, which will be a rare item to get, I would think, Xenoblade Chronicles X.
I'm super pumped about that. I
Yeah.
love Xenoblade Chronicles, but again, that's 2015.
Yep, 2015.
But super pumped about it.
They announced Mario Party 10 for the Wii, so
Yes.
those are fun.
Me and the wife are really huge fans of that.
Yeah.
We love. Well, here's the thing though. The last one that came out, Mario Party 9, wasn't too impressed with. I didn't like the whole where everyone's in, already in the ball or car or whatever it was, and you rolled and then it moved, and another person rolled and it still moved. I like the old traditional
Yeah,
where
I thought it
everyone's
was-
all over the board.
I heard 9 was more co-op based, not as competitive as the other ones were, which I thought that was kind of the point of Mario Party was the whole being competitive, you want to win.
Exactly.
Kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yep.
But I've Mario Party now. I'm not a big fan of party games, other than Rock Band.
The second to last one here, Mario Maker. Did you look at that?
That was
It's
it's-
Little Big Planet for
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Yeah, so it's the old
Yeah.
school Mario game, but you have the ability to change stuff in, add stuff into it.
And people are already doing that. They're making flash games with Mario stuff
Yeah.
in them already.
So essentially, Nintendo's like, well, we won't make some money off
Yeah,
this
so
process.
we'll make it.
We'll just
Put
come
our
out
name
with
on
it.
it,
Yeah. That could be fun. I mean, because I like the old school Mario style.
I'll let them give me $10 to play it.
They'll pay you to do it.
Yeah.
Last one here, they had a video of what's his name, Miyamoto.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing a game and it was blurred out, and you couldn't quite see what the game was. Later on, they determined that the game that he was playing was some type of Star Fox game.
That'll be cool.
So it wasn't
I like Star Fox.
Yeah.
So it wasn't quite announced, but they kind of showed it as kind of a teaser. I'm a huge Star Fox fan. It was more of the classic Star Fox when you're in
And
the
you're not doing the third person.
all that
combat
running
stuff.
around stuff. That's stupid.
That wasn't bad. You're talking about the one for GameCube, right?
The
Yeah.
Star Fox Adventures.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean,
That's not
when
Star
I'm playing
Fox.
Star Fox, I want to be in the ship.
Yeah.
I want it to be all aerial combat stuff.
So, okay, here's my thing. So, just so people know, I'm not a Nintendo hater. I love Zelda.
He's a
I am
Nintendo hater.
really excited about that. And another game that I want to mention is the Phoenix Wright trilogy that they announced for the 3DS that they're coming out this fall. Granted, it's this fall, not next year. I will be
What?
picking that up.
Yeah, those are definitely worth playing. Really good games.
And those are Nintendo exclusive, so I am excited about those. And the Smash Brothers, the new Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that was the other this year game for the Wii U I'm excited about. Smash Brothers and Bayonetta 2.
Didn't the 3DS Smash Brothers got pushed to next year?
No, it's October. It
It's
was
a-
supposed to be this summer, but they pushed it to October.
Okay, so
It's October for 3DS and holiday still for the Wii U version.
okay.
If Wii U gets pushed in 2015,
Yeah.
Nintendo will be.
So that was my end for Nintendo. So what would you give Nintendo's ABC
But we never
grade?
graded Sony.
No. Yeah, we'll go back. So give me your Nintendo and we'll go back to Sony.
I'm gonna say C.
C.
Like Will said and stuff is everything's next year.
I'm gonna be tougher on him. I'm gonna give him a C minus.
Ooh.
Like I almost gave him like a D just because of the lack of stuff. But it's they're announcing really cool stuff. It's just next year when we're gonna get it. But
at least half of that should have came out this year. If I'd even say maybe even 2 or 3, maybe even less than half. But none of that coming out this year.
The Xenoblade game should have been this year.
Yeah.
That should have been this year.
I'm gonna give them just because they had some really good stuff. Yeah, it's pushed back a little bit, but that just gives me more time to save up and buy a Wii U. I'm gonna say a C plus.
We're all in the C range.
Stay in the C range. So going back, Sony. Well, what would you give Sony?
A B plus.
B plus.
I will give them higher than a Microsoft just because of Bloodborne and PlayStation TV looks fantastic, and Uncharted 4.
Kenneth.
I agree. B plus. The only reason why I didn't give them an A is because I felt like they kind of got bitch slapped by Microsoft, where Microsoft, every time they showed a game, there's like DLC exclusive on Xbox, DLC exclusive on Xbox, or coming out on Xbox first, That's all you saw. And that used to be Sony, on certain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of feel like, they're I don't know.
Sony had a few exclusives though too, because they've got with Far Cry 4 we didn't mention. I think this is a Sony exclusive where you could invite people to play the co-op portion of the game with you, and they don't have to own the game.
That's cool.
They can just jump into your game and play it. That's really cool.
Was that a Sony exclusive too?
I think so. Yeah.
I have to look that up because I heard about that, but I don't know. I like Sony, so B plus, which, believe it or not, is actually funny. I gave it better than Microsoft, and I'm more Microsoft.
Well, me too. Like I prefer Microsoft over Sony, but I think they had a better show.
I agree. I agree.
I give them an A minus just because it seemed like they had more exclusives than Microsoft. I don't really include Nintendo in that conversation and stuff because everything that Nintendo comes out with is exclusive, but you have to buy a Wii U to get it.
Yeah.
So I want to give Sony the edge over Microsoft just because of all the stuff that they had coming out. PlayStation TV, the GTA 5, that kind of just like topped it off. Not including Uncharted 4. So last portion here. Do we want to take a break? You want to keep going?
Let's just finish it. We're on the last part.
Okay.
Let's just finish it up.
So we got some last third-party games on here. We got some third-party games coming out. I'm gonna go down the list, and then after that we'll talk on see what y'all like about them. So for third-party, we got Call of Duty, Advanced Warfighter. Is that what it's called? Warfire or Warfare?
Advanced Warfare.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings, Shadow of Mordor, Batman: Arkham Knight, Rainbow Six Siege, Assassin's Creed Unity, Battlefield Hardline, Dragon Age 3, Battlefield 5, and Mirror's Edge.
Battlefield 3 looks not Battlefield 3, Dragon Age 3.
Yeah.
Sorry, this Vitamin Water is kicking in.
Yeah.
Dragon Age 3 looks amazing.
I'm super pumped about that one. That's one of the big ones this fall. I'm really looking forward to.
BioWare said that's like their biggest game that they've ever designed.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, let's see.
Rainbow Six Siege, excited about?
That one's probably far off, like really far off from being done though.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, Patriots got pushed off for so long, and then they came out with Siege now instead.
Well, they said as soon as they heard next-gen systems were coming out, they immediately stopped working on Patriots, and they immediately started working on Siege. So they've already been working on Siege for about a year or two.
I don't know why I keep forgetting about this game. Like, before it got delayed, it was like one of my day one purchases this fall. But then it got delayed, and it's still probably going to be day one early next year when it comes out with Batman.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was during Sony's press conference when they showed off the gameplay for it.
It was.
It looks so good. Like whenever he gets on the top and you see the city and he dives down and starts gliding through, it's like, wow. But then like the Batmobile turned into a tank, and I was like, I don't know about that. But I mean, you can tell like it's a game built for next gen. It looks beautiful, fantastic.
I mean, they've been working on that one for a while.
Yeah, I just wanted to see more combat. Like they just had like the triple takedown that they showed off, which looks cool. But I wanted to see the actual hand to hand. Like you get surrounded by like 15, henchmen, and you're like doing your combos and stuff. I wanted to see more of that, but That game looks really good.
There's actually 3 games I want to bring up that you haven't mentioned, because all the other ones you mentioned, I'm just like, eh. And tell me I'm wrong.
Assassin's Creed Unity, like, it's cool they're adding co-op, but you got to fix the gameplay first before you start adding a bunch of new stuff into it, which they said they redid the parkour engine to it.
Yeah.
But because I'll believe it when I see it.
They actually changed the way that you can actually get down from things.
Yeah.
Like if you're on top of like a building, they introduced a new system to help you easily get down.
Which they showed that off during the trailer, which looked pretty seamless. But again, I'll believe it when I actually play it. Because that's been
4-player co-op though would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed.
I'm excited about that, but yeah, like you said, I don't know how much more they can do out of this since they come out every single year. It's starting to be a Call of Duty now. Mm-hmm. Is it really going to keep my interest? The Division looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Doom, of course, they didn't really show anything, but I'm excited about it.
Because Doom is awesome.
Mortal Kombat X.
Yeah, the gameplay looks really good.
Yeah,
like
they showed a trailer on that.
Yeah, like it's they introduced 2 of the new characters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be set, like, was it 20 or 30 years into the future from the last Mortal Kombat game?
I'm not for sure, because are they talking about the remake of the last Mortal Kombat?
I think so. Because one of the new characters is going to be Johnny Cage and Sonya's kid. She's going to be one of the characters. So
Sonya Cage?
Sonya Cage. Yeah, but yeah, that looks really good. Again, another 2015 game, though.
Yeah.
Battlefront's 2015 at the earliest, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, Hardline looks good, but it's Payday.
It's Payday with the DLC where you can play as the other side.
Yeah. Battlefield 5. I haven't even played Battlefield 4 because of how bad it was.
Yeah, the EA exec actually came out and said that Battlefield 4 launch was unacceptable.
Yeah,
I mean, they're still fixing it.
Yeah, they're still working on it.
And they're coming out with 2 new Battlefield games, and they're still fixing the one that's already out.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just stop for like a year.
Like, just chill out, take some time, and work on it.
Just relax.
Yeah.
Because I'm excited about Batman, like you said. Was there another one? Oh, The Lord of the Rings. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like they're going way off topic now.
It's another Troy Baker game.
Yeah, it is a Troy Baker game. We should have a podcast to see how many Troy Baker games are out there right now.
We should rank our Troy Baker games.
Ooh, hey, I like that.
Anything on Call of Duty?
I don't care.
I'll pick it up just because I like their multiplayer. They're fun.
I think it's cool. It's a completely new developer working on it, Sledgehammer, who only did. I think they just did the multiplayer for Modern Warfare 3.
I think so.
So this is the first time they've actually had their hands on the full game, which will be cool. But I probably still
has a lot of like the future warfare and weapons. It had like a laser cannon, like a laser rifle.
When you had like the little mech suits, battle suits, that they kind of probably got that from Titanfall.
Titanfall? That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, something like that.
But it was interesting. Battlefield Hardline's being developed by Visceral Games. They do the Dead Space games.
Yeah.
Thought that was kind of interesting.
I'm actually more excited about the Hardline than I am the Battlefield 5.
I stopped caring about... If they need to do that Bad Company, I'd get excited about Battlefield again, but it just seems like Call of Duty.
They could throw that in there.
Yeah.
Anything on Mirror's Edge?
I didn't really care for the first one. I know a lot of it's kind of got its own cult following around it, but I couldn't really get into it. I've tried to play it a couple times, and it's just not a game for me.
I'm surprised.
I'm glad they're coming out with another one. That's awesome.
I'm surprised it took this long for them to come out with another one.
Yeah.
They probably didn't realize they're going to have a job this time around.
Yeah. I mean, it's a, like I said, it's got a pretty big following around it, and I know a lot of people are excited about it, but I don't really care for it too much. Okay. It makes me a little nauseous when I play it.
I never played the first one, nor do I have a desire to play the first one. Just nothing about it excited me.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, that's our recap of E3. So we had a bunch of stuff to go over. Thank you so much for listening. We're going to take a really quick break, and then I have my mystery question for both of y'all, and we'll be right back. Thank you so much.
Woo woo!
All right, guys. So this is the last portion here. Thank you so much for listening.
Welcome back.
Please don't. God, no.
Welcome back.
So, reminder.
Hold door.
Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Our first 4 episodes are on iTunes and on YouTube. So check us out, listen to all of them. That way you can kind of get caught up to what we've been talking about. Every once in a while, we'll bring up a topic from the previous episode. So, just like a good TV show or movie, you gotta watch the
You got to keep the
previous
jokes
stuff
going.
Yeah. So we recycle jokes. So make sure to follow along. So my last portion here, secret topic. Give me a game that you were hoping to see at E3 that you did not see. I'm going to go Will.
Okay. This might take me a second. I'm going to defer to Ken for right now.
All right, someone go to Ken.
Did you do that last time?
No, I've gone first every time.
That was me last time.
Okay. And this was kind of brought up with a lot of people. Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Okay. Yeah, that's a missing one. Cause I've been talking about that one for a while. How they may be a sequel, or they may not be, or they're still working on it.
They're working on it. They have to be working on it.
That and the new Battlefront. I don't think what they showed count. They need to show some actual gameplay or maybe some story or something. Yeah. Sorry, that might have taken that away from you, but those are the two that I was looking forward to.
So Star Wars Battlefront, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And with the whole new Disney acquisition, LucasArts now going with Disney, I gotta assume they're gonna be pumping out some Star Wars games here pretty soon.
I would think so. Yeah, and then they put EA in charge of all the Star Wars games, didn't they?
Essentially.
Yeah.
I think that's what they said they did.
I'm still upset that they canceled 1313.
I know, me too.
Because that was supposed to be Boba Fett.
That was like Uncharted with Star Wars.
It was Boba Fett.
Yeah.
It was Boba
Fett. So you like Boba Fett?
Mostly.
Mostly.
Mine is going to be Quantum Break.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't show that off at all. They didn't even mention it, I don't think, at all. I think after that they said they were going to show it off at Gamescom, but there was nothing about it E3. I figure seems like a high-profile Microsoft exclusive. You figure they would at least kind of say something about it or show like a little trailer, but nothing.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I've forgotten about that.
Yeah,
actually.
Most people have. That's why they should have shown it off at E3.
Yeah.
And it's from the guys who did Alan Wake, which that game was awesome.
Yeah, amazing.
Love that game. So I'm all for what they've got in store with their next game. But yeah, disappointed.
So mine were Red Dead Redemption. I was hoping to see the sequel, but didn't get to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little sad about that. Just because recently one of the executives at 2K said that Red Dead is a continued franchise.
I'm sure it made him a pretty penny.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about continued French fries. Watch Dogs.
Continued French fries.
What? I said franchise.
You said continued French fries.
Are you hungry?
That's what I said. I love it, yeah. The Watch Dogs is going to be a continued IP, isn't it?
It's probably going to turn into a yearly kind of thing, like Assassin's Creed has turned into.
Maybe, but
we'll get like another 2 or 3 years before the next one, but then after that, they're just going to start pumping them out.
Over a year. Fallout 4.
Oh, yeah. That's another one.
Yeah.
That's another one.
I was like, man, where is it?
Well, see, I kind of didn't expect it to be there because Bethesda said that they weren't going to be showing anything.
That didn't mean anything.
And yeah, I was kind of hoping that they were just saying that so people wouldn't be excited about it or be looking forward to it.
Yeah. And then it happened.
And they were just going to do it.
Oh my god!
Yeah. And
just give us like a scenery of like the city that's going to be in and show like a big nuclear explosion in the background.
Do like they did with the tease for Fallout 3 when they first announced that. And it was just like pulling through like the desolated Washington D.C.
Oh, yeah.
with that song playing in the background, and you see one of the guys in the power armor.
Mm-hmm.
Ogres.
No, the
just the guy,
Brotherhood of Steel people, yeah. And then that was it. That was all they did for Fallout 3.
Yeah.
They could have done something like that for 4.
And then
what's the harm? I mean, games get announced like 3 or 4 years before they're out. Just go ahead and announce it. You're working on it.
Do it.
You're being stupid.
Yeah.
Cool.
So great games. Yeah, I wish we could have seen some of those, but maybe the next couple of months we might see something like that.
Maybe next time.
So again, this is Freshly Squeezed Nerd episode 5. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Our episodes are on iTunes and on YouTube. So whichever way you want to check us out, feel free to check us out. And we appreciate everybody listening. And we hope to see you on the flip side, on the next side. So
definitely.
So my name is Josh.
I'm Will.
And I'm Ken.
And you've been freshly squeezed.